What's up, heroes? Hopefully you've seen Darling in the Franxx episode 13, because if you have, you will understand everything I'm going to talk about in this video. If you haven't, then you won't really understand everything I'm talking about, and you'll also get spoiled. So unless that doesn't sound bad to you, I would advise you not to watch this video unless you are up to date with episode 13. Now that said, if you're watching this video in the future, maybe the whole series is ended. Maybe you're watching this from a year from now, but you know, grain of salt and all that jazz. Anyways, let's get into the topic at hand. Hiro and Zero Two teaming up together to take out the adults, the people that have wronged them so badly. They've caused so much suffering to the two of them. Tortured Zero Two, memory wiped the two of them, bashed Hiro on the head, caused the kid to bleed, going through tests left and right, forced to fight, forced to throw their lives on the line to sacrifice themselves for the greater good, which is what exactly? The adults living their horrible lives? This whole society is a freaking mess, and I think it's time to take that society down. But what do Hiro and Zero Two think? Will they end up rebelling against the adults? That's what I'm going to theorize about with you guys today. That's what today's video is going to be about, a discussion. Now, this is the second video of Darling in the Franxx that I've ever made. Again, if you're watching this in the future, maybe I have a whole bunch of Darling in the Franxx videos out. But as of this moment that I'm recording it, this is the second video. First one was a theory video on the red Oni and the memories returning to Hiro from episode 12 before episode 13 came out. I suggest you watch that video. It's pretty sick, and actually that theory was basically confirmed, so we nailed that one spot on. They even used the term Oni in the show, so that was freaking awesome. So yeah, that video is going to have a link in the description if you want to check that out. As for this topic, again, we're going to talk about the rebellion and all the possible outcomes that might happen there, because it's some interesting stuff. We have Hiro finally recalling the memories that he had lost, while Zero Two seemed to still have those memories. Now, Zero Two went under the same procedure that Hiro went to, so I don't understand how she was able to keep her memories and Hiro wasn't. That said, maybe Zero Two actually didn't keep her memories fully, but she didn't have them erased fully either. The treatment surely didn't work on her the way it worked on Hiro. Hiro recalled almost nothing from his past, while Zero Two does remember quite a fair bit from her past. Now, Hiro experienced those memories due to the connection in Strelizia that connected the two of them. And that's why he was able to recall not just his memories, but memories that Zero Two went through as well. I guess recalling isn't such the best term I could use. It would be more so he experienced the memories, the experiences that she went to that formed those memories. So all in all, it's some very interesting stuff, and it goes on to further correlate to the connections between the Franxx and the pilots. So there is some deeper stuff there, but that's a theory for another day. Right now, we're just going to talk about the possible rebellion arc. So episode 13, we might see a huge shift in the overall motif and plot, where we have these kids going up against the adults. These kids that the adults barely consider human. Some of the adults consider the parasites humans. Some of the adults just consider them parasites and test subjects, and they just don't even really care about them. They treat them less than human. That's absolutely certain. They treat them like tools. Is that right? I mean, like I said, the adults don't really do anything good either, at least the ones that we've seen. They're forcing the kids to go through all this mess. All they're doing is destroying the earth more and more, taking the magma out for their fuel, and killing Calaxosaur. We don't even know if the Calaxosaur are bad. We don't even know if they're bad. For all we know, they are forces of nature that were created to take out threats to the earth, which in this case would be humanity. Now that said, the Calaxosaur do have a very nanotech appearance, very mechanical looking and whatnot, so I do feel like they are a construct of human creation. But that's, again, a whole different theory that we're not going to get into now. But some of these topics I'm bringing up will be videos I make down the road, so stay tuned. If you're not subscribed to my channel, I would advise you to do that so that you can know when those videos come out. Also, notification bell will help with that as well, of course. So hypothetically, if Hiro and Zero Two do indeed rebel against the adults, will it just be the two of them going up against everybody else? I don't really think so. They're certainly setting up Ichigo's Squad 13 to look like they would join Hiro and Zero Two in this rebellion. Now that said, Squad 13, you can tell all those characters have very different personalities. I highly doubt that everybody on Squad 13 would be 100% game to join in this rebellion. I do feel like there would be some conflict in Squad 13. I don't think all of them would join the rebellion with Hiro and Zero Two. I think some of them would stay with the adults in the plantation, etc., etc., etc. There's also the question of, even if all of Squad 13 joins in, will that be enough to take out the adults? I'm assuming not. Yes, these kids have Franxx, but the adults have other parasites they could send against Squad 13, other parasites they could send with Franxx. Also, they have more elite people like the Nines that they could also send against the kids, against Squad 13, Hiro, and Ichigo. And who's to say that they don't have any sort of plan in case this happens? They could have, for, you know, hypothetically, they could have some nanotechnology by every parasite's heart so that if they do rebel or do something that they don't agree with, they can just off them off by pressing a button that causes their heart to rupture or something like that. We don't know, man. This is a highly advanced society. The technology could be there, and there very well may be these deterrents for parasites that fail or rebel. As it is now, we already know that failed parasites get taken away and are never seen again. So it's implied that they are getting off already. The adults have no problem doing that. Meanwhile, on an even more meta level, what would the plantations do? Do all the adults agree with the way the parasites are being treated, or do some of them disagree but they just stay hush-hush about it? Even the adults are being manipulated by the higher-ups, it looks like. People like Dr. Franxx and the vice chairman, etc., etc., etc. So in closing, we are now about halfway through the show, and I think we're setting up for a new arc, the Rebellion arc. But who all will join? Leave me your thoughts down below. Do you think that we will have this Rebellion arc? And if so, who do you think will join? Do you think Ichigo and Squad 13 will join? Do you think other plantations might join and we'll have full-on war between plantations? Do you think the other parasites will join? And what about the Nines? Leave me all your thoughts down below. I'll take a look. I'll get back to you. And if you do that, well, I will see you next time.